let's bring in John Gong, a professor at the University of International Business and Economics and a China Forum expert. Good to see you again, John.
Thank you very much.
Well, of course, the biggest headline coming out of APEC, the expected meeting between Chinese President Xi Jinping and U.S. President Joe Biden. The two have not met since last year at the G20 summit in Indonesia, so the fact that they're meeting is certainly very significant. But beyond that, are we anticipating anything significant to come out of it to change this dynamic between the U.S. and China?
All eyes on the summit meeting between President Xi and President Biden. I think in a way it's probably more important than the APEC meeting itself. Nevertheless, I would say that I'm a little bit skeptical that there will be anything substantive coming out of the APEC meeting itself, because as you pointed out that this is more of a advocacy forum. It's a place for people to express opinions, not really for action items, in my view. But when it comes to the summit between President Xi and President Biden, I think there got to be a lot more substantive actions and plans coming out. I think this is the most important bilateral relationship in the world between China and the United States. I think it's a pace-setting event, actually. Certainly the bilateral relationship between the two countries is facing adjustment right now. Let's be very honest that since the meeting in Bali a year ago, the two countries' relationship has gone through its ups and downs. But now it looks like that it's coming back to normalcy. Especially the fact that the President Xi coming to the United States itself sends a strong signal that the two countries are ready to work together on a range of issues. So I would expect some substantive plans and actions to be coming out of the meeting between the two presidents.
If I could also expand on that, on China, and what is it looking for coming to these meetings?
I think there are a lot of expectations. I mean, look at the media OPD articles and reports. I think the tone has really changed. There's a recent OPD piece from People's Daily, which is the most important newspaper here in China. This article talks about the two countries' relationship in a very positive light. So I would expect that things would turn much better. I think especially under the current global geopolitical landscape, the two countries have a lot of things in common right now, as the two wars are still going on, and as the entire global political situation is getting very divided at this point. I think the two leaders can work on ranges of issues. From China's perspective, certainly, I think we're going to talk about Taiwan, we're going to talk about South China Sea, we're going to talk about Americans' policy towards Chinese companies, about these tariffs, sanctions on Chinese companies, and all of these things will be on the agenda, in my view.
John, we have about a minute left. The theme of this meeting this year is creating a resilient and sustainable future for all. That's the official title. Break this down for us. What does that mean in your opinion?
I think this is mostly coming from Washington's perspective. Sustainability really refers to things related to the climate agenda. Resilience is all about the supply chain resilience, about secure and reliable and of course resilient supply chains for countries. These two perspectives, the political emphasis, political agendas that be very much emphasized by the Biden administration. So I think it's mostly coming from the United States, and this is okay. I think indeed the globalization trend does see its challenges, as we've seen in the past, during the COVID era, as well as the implications of these two wars going on. Especially, I think the war in Ukraine. It has implications for supply chains, and how do you strike a balance between continued commitment to globalization as well as free trade versus the need for these objectives, policy objectives, brought about the resilient, reliable, and secure supply chains for countries.
We'll have to leave it there. John Gong, thanks so much. Appreciate it.